Hello everyone, Ron here from RJJ's Reactions, and I'm back with Tom Waits after a very long break from Tom. Not a break really, just I haven't done one. So this one is I Don't Wanna Grow Up. We can probably all feel some sentiment toward that, I suppose. We'll have a listen to the song and then I'll look at the lyrics afterwards because Tom Waits, along with his wife, writes the lyrics. Here we go. I'll back it up a bit. Just wanted to make a couple of comments before I forget. Of course, the video is really well done. Coming in, dress up, I suppose, with the magnifying glass and the cape and boot on one heel, a high heel on the other, sort of a dress up. But I'm wondering if it's also a combo between kid and adult life. He's sitting there with looks like a martini on one hand, but also the get up and other things indicate childhood. And then here coming into um, this tiny little room, and but he's huge. So yeah, it all goes together. And then his gravelly voice, that grit that he has in his voice that he developed over the years. If you hear him when he was really really young, he doesn't have that. So he encouraged it and developed it and created this persona, this character that he often uses. All right, let's back it up a bit. Oh, he's under the table. I see. Okay, yeah, kids play under the table a lot, so that makes sense too. I'll back it up a little bit. Um, well, never quite catch the right spot that I want, but nevertheless, it doesn't matter. I'll look at the lyrics in just a moment. It's a very silly video in a way, and for good reason to sort of match up with some of the lyrics. But I think the lyrics have a little more depth than you might think at first. It's a fun tune. It's fairly simplistic in a way, but it's fun and light, and the video is funny. It's hilarious the way he's dressed up and carrying on. But I think there's more to the lyrics than you might think at first blush. So let's have a look at the lyrics now. I Don't Want to Grow Up by Tom Waits, songwriters Tom Waits and Kathleen Brennan, husband and wife. Good team by the look of it. When I'm lying in my bed at night, I don't want to grow up. Nothing ever seems to turn out right. I don't want to grow up. How do you move in a world of fog that's always changing things? Makes me wish that I could be a dog. When I see the price that you pay, I don't want to grow up. I don't ever want to be that way. I don't want to grow up. So it sounds like a child at first, but as I've been sort of discussing in the new course that I'm creating on short story reading, you have to think of the author, but also the narrator, which are that's not always the same thing. And then you have to think of the who is the narrator and how reliable is the narrator. So it sounds like a child at first, but as you go through the lyrics, I think as we went through the song, it sounds like a more of an adult thinking back to childhood and looking back and forth a little bit. I don't mean an older adult, I think probably still young, but yeah, there's too much here for a child to understand, I think. Although they do pick up on a lot from their parents and they maybe don't want to turn out like their parents, so that part is true. So you may be remembering how you were a child and didn't want to turn out like your parents. And then unfortunately, sometimes you do, at least in some ways. Yeah, things always changing. Some people, I've heard people before say that they love dogs or animals better than people. Uh, Makes a certain amount of sense because they're easier to get along with and they usually forgive you a lot quicker and don't hold grudges, and so there's something there. You wish they could be a dog. I don't know about that. Some dogs don't have a great life, but when I see the price you pay, yes, when growing up can be costly in a number of ways. Seems like folks turn into things that they never want. The only thing to live for is today. I'm going to put a hole in my TV set. I don't want to grow up. Open up the medicine chest and I don't want to grow up. I don't want to have to shout it out. I don't want my hair to fall out. I don't want to be filled with doubt. I don't want to be a good Boy Scout. I don't want to have to learn to count. So some of these things are very, you can think of a very young child. I don't want to learn how to count. But then I don't want my hair to fall out. Okay, maybe looking at dad. I don't want to be filled with doubt. That you get to know later, usually. I'm not sure that a child knows that their parents are full of doubt, but you certainly learn that as you get older and you start to realize that they didn't know it all, and they're not as secure in their thoughts as you thought, and you certainly aren't. I don't want to be a good Boy Scout, so I don't always want to do as I'm told, or I don't always want to live the way you're supposed to. There's these rules or conventions, expectations. I don't want to have the biggest amount. I don't want to grow up. So yeah, having the biggest amount sometimes seems great when you're a kid, but then as you get older, you find out having the biggest amount again is very costly in a number of ways. Well, when I see my parents fight, I don't want to grow up. They all go out and drinking all night, and I don't want to grow up. I'd rather stay here in my room, nothing out there but sad and gloom. I don't want to live in a big old tomb on Grand Street. So, yeah, watching your parents, particularly if they do fight a lot or if they're drinking and getting into difficulties, that would make you think, yeah, I don't want to become them. I don't want to grow up. I don't want to be like that. Uh, it would be sad if you really thought everything out there is sad and gloom, but I can see how that could be a feeling. When I see the 5 o'clock news, I don't want to grow up. I don't want to be like that. It would be sad if you really thought everything out there is sad and gloom, but I can see how that could be a feeling. When I see the 5 o'clock news, I don't want to grow up. comb their hair and shine their shoes. I don't want to grow up. Stay around in my old hometown. I don't want to put no money down. I don't want to get me a big old loan. So buying a house, probably talking about here. These are things that you, not a lot of fun. It ties you down. It restricts your life, your freedom. Work them fingers to the bone. Again, a job where you're working and not enjoying the job, but just working for the paycheck to pay for that house or pay for that car or that big old loan. I don't want to float a broom. Okay, so working, sweeping floors, I guess. Fall in love and get married, then boom, how the hell did I get here so soon? I don't want to grow up. So yeah, fall in love, you get married, and I'm assuming the boom is the children, and now you're tied down even more. You have more responsibilities, you have more things to pay for, you need to do more work. And how did you get here so soon? How did you get to this age? How did you get in this situation so fast? Yes, as time moves on, things seem to move faster and faster, and it is surprising how you look back and think, wait a minute, how did I get to this point in my life? So this is why I think the narrator in this song is actually possibly still a young adult, but an adult looking back, thinking of childhood and thinking of how they would have felt, because some of these details I don't think a child would actually think about, but some they would for sure. Some children would. I'm trying to move up and I'm not succeeding. There we go. I don't want to grow up. Yeah, I think there's more to the lyrics than you think when you hear this song at first, and it just seems like a fun song, and especially with the video, it seems silly and funny and lighthearted, which it is. But then on the other hand, there's some serious messaging in here as well. Do we all need the biggest amount? Do we need to work our fingers to the bone? Is everything we aim for what we should be aiming for? Are there other things in life that we should be focusing on and looking at? So I think there you can extract a fair bit out of this. It's from quite a while ago. I'm not sure when it was first done, but it's from quite a while ago. But love Tom Waits, love his voice. This was a funny video, and the music, while fairly simplistic, was really well done too. Let me know what else you'd like to hear from Tom Waits or anyone else. It's Ron from RJJ's Reactions. Keep listening, keep having fun. Until next time, bye bye for now.